my friends, today we're going to be looking at how we can take the D and the G chord and be super creative with them by using things like the cage system, triads, double stops, scales to create some really cool moves that sound a lot cooler than just simple D and G, which are great. Now, if you want tabs for it all, then you can get them now with my my membership. It's only $3 per month, and you get my videos with tab, a playthrough on the video, plus a downloadable PDF. Anyways, links in the description. Otherwise, we're just going to fire through it, and I'll break it down as best I can. So, we start off with this little move here. Alright, and again, what I'm doing here is I'm going from D, G. Okay, but we're really making those chords sing. Now, if we look at a D chord like this, right, on the 10th fret with an E-shaped bar chord. Now, the big aha moments, right, the big breakthroughs with guitar is when you can take a shape and you know what scale you have underneath it. So every time I'm playing this chord, this bar chord, or this shape, same shape, I know that I've got shape 2 of the pentatonic scale, and I've always got that little move right there. So I've got 12, 10, 12, 10, 11. Okay, and I've also got anti-shape on here. And that allows me to do this little double stop, which is a classic Hendrix move. Alright, now we'll also be using notes, not just from the pentatonic, but the minor scale. So it's not, I use the visual of the pentatonic, and then I add in those little minor notes as well. This is going to be a quick breakthrough, but if you do want more help with these kind of things, the cage system and scales, then you know, my courses cover a lot more of that. Don't want to just sell stuff, but it's a lot more thorough. So if you're looking for that, then you can get that as well in the description. So we've got this little move. So that's shape 2. Hammer on between 10 and 12. I'm barring both the 10 strings, the 10th frets on the high E and B. Hammer on from 10 to 12, then back again. 12 on the G. This little move here, 9, my index finger on the G, middle finger on the B string on the 10th fret, and I'm hammering to the 11th fret. Okay, and then I'm going to slide these two fingers down into shape 2, alright, which is 9 and 11, 9 and 10, sorry, on the G and B. So it's a cool little move there, right? So we're going D, and then I'm thinking here in this location. This is the cool thing about knowing all these shapes, you see chords everywhere, and right now I've slid nicely in to the C shape for the G chord. Alright? Okay, and that means I've got these little moves just taken right out of that chord. Alright? The G chord. So I'm going to hammer on between 7 and 9, using that double stop, my middle finger on the B on the 8th fret. And then I'm going to bar the D and G on the 7th fret, hammer on to 9 on the D, and then I'm going to get that G note here on the A string. Alright, and again I'm just going D, G, and then back to D. I'm going to slide down to the 5th fret on the A string, and then make this little D chord, basically. Now again, I'm using the C shape here. If we look at the C shape for D, play it, we have this. Okay, now remember when you've got the bass note here on the A string, you've got a few options for chords. I could play a D like this, or I could play a D like this. The A shape, or the C shape here. Alright, which also leads into the D shape. Okay? Now, if you take the top 3 strings of this chord, you get this little shape, which is lovely and bassy. I like this. It's quite an interesting chord. But maybe a little stretch with the fingers. We've got 5, 4, and 2 from the A string. So. And then this little move. And basically all I'm doing now is taking the triad shape just below that. Alright? Again, taking from the C shape. Alright, which I have 4, 2, and 3 from the D string. And I'm sliding from one fret back. Like that. Which I think is quite a cool move. And then again, being in this shape here, I've got these little double stops, which I can use to bring me nicely into the G chord here. So again, I've got my fingers here already. All I need to do is then take these two fingers on the D and G, or the G and B, sorry, and hammer on. Again, that double stop from 2 to 4 on the G string, getting the G and B. Off again, 4, slide up to 5. Again, that's the G note, which can bring me into either this bar chord, or this is the shape I like to use, is a little triad here, 5, 4, 3. And if you can get your thumb over on the 3rd fret, even better. If you can't, you just play it like that, or try the bar chord. Apologies, I know this isn't totally beginner friendly, but you know, it's a good thing to work on, even if you are a beginner. That's how we get better. Alright? Okay, so far. Strum, and then I'm going to slide into the A chord, just taking that same shape, and again you can play a bar chord here, the E shaped bar chord, or this, and then alright, and again I could do same thing really, right? But I like this chord. And when you've got this chord, the E-shaped bar chord, or this triad, you get shape 3 that comes right off this fret. So for A, for example, it would be, I would have 7, 9, 7, 9, 7, 9. The G, I would have 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7. And again, I hope you're making the connections here. When you remember a shape, you've always got that scale, whatever scale is associated with that shape. So you've always got the same moves and licks you can play. Anyways, so A, do this little Hendrix lick, right? 79, then 79 again, but this time barring the D and G. Back again, and then 9, 7. Then we're coming to the G chord, or again, exact same lick, but 5 to 7. Then finish it off with the D. Let's do that. Which is basically just taking the G shape, right? The G chord, moving it up to the D. If you can take this note here, this would be a G, move up to the 10th fret, which would be a D, I can make the G shape. And instead of getting the open strings, I use my middle finger to mute those, the D and G, so I'm just getting the fretted. Take this, get your fretboard boots on, as I say to my students, and start taking these triad shapes. Take songs you already know and like, and use these different shapes and scales to do something cool with them. Take it easy, and I'll see you in the next one.